Meanwhile, Moscow claims Ukraine's attacks with U.S. weapons have already begun. This morning, its military says Ukraine fired 6 U.S.-made Army tactical missiles at Russia's Bryansk region overnight. Ukraine's defense ministry did not confirm the use of the long-range missiles, but did confirm that it hit a military weapons facility in Bryansk. Russia claims it shot down 5 of the 6 missiles and damaged the 6th. And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy delivered an emotional speech to the European Union Parliament this morning. He spoke from the besieged city of Kyiv as his country marks 1,000 days of this bloody, brutal war.
Putin is focused on winning this war. He will not stop on his own. The more time he has, the worse the conditions become. Every today is the best moment to push Russia harder, and it's clear without certain key factors, Russia will lack real motivation to engage in meaningful negotiations.
And we're joined now by Scripps News international correspondent Jason Bellini, who has reported for us on the ground in Ukraine. Jason, 1,000 days into this war, both sides are still fighting. 1,000 days.
1,000 brutal, bloody days, and it's only been getting more bloody and more brutal, especially this last month, September. 1,200 Russian soldiers killed per day. This is according to U.S. officials, who also say that the total number of Ukrainians killed, and the Ukrainians themselves, they're not putting out numbers, but U.S. officials are saying it's around 60,000 in these past 1,000 days. Think about that. That's the same number, almost exactly the same number as who died during the Vietnam War from the U.S. I visited a place that is akin to the Vietnam War Memorial. This one is far more ad hoc, created by people who bring to this wall photos of their loved ones who've fallen. This is part of our upcoming program, In the Shadows, which focuses on one soldier. But in this section, we zoom out for a bit and look at the toll that this war is taking on people. Take a look. A visit to the central square in Ukraine's capital shines a light on the harsh reality that those commanding this war would rather remain in the shadows. Ukraine is losing a generation of young people. The memorial wall of fallen defenders here in Kyiv stretches almost 2 city blocks, but they're out of room for more photos. So you see families come here and they create ad hoc memorials to their loved ones who've fallen. A haunting mosaic of loss. That so many photos are unfaded, new, speaks to the devastating trajectory of this war. Tens of thousands of soldiers dead, tens of thousands of loved ones left behind to mourn and remember. And there are also around 250,000 Ukrainian soldiers who've been injured. So the losses are mounting and just devastating. Patrick.
Jason, since we have you here, can we talk a little bit about this development today? We're hearing now that Ukraine has used some of these ATACMS missiles inside Russia. What are they and why is that significant? These Army tactical missiles, these are ballistic missiles. So they fire up, they go high up into the atmosphere, and then gravity drives them down very quickly. They're difficult to shoot down, though the Russians say that they were able to shoot down 5 out of 6 of them. But broader context here is you've got 500,000 Russian troops, which include North Korean troops, that are right in the Kursk region of Russia, where they're going to try to drive out the Ukrainians. That's already begun, but the full force of that may be coming. So now that the Ukrainians have permission to use these ATACMS missiles, they could potentially be able to reach, because these go 200 miles, they could potentially reach concentrations of troops and also munitions and try to dampen the effect of this Russian counteroffensive in Kursk. All right, well, international correspondent Jason Bellini, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And be sure to watch the premiere of In the Shadows this Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern right here on Scripps News.